And Russia says it is holding a ceasefire today to allow Ukrainian fighters to safely leave a steel plant in Mariupol. But so far, those Ukrainian forces seem determined to keep fighting. The plant is the last major holdout in the port city, and this all comes as the United Nations reports more than 5 million people have fled Ukraine since the start of the Russian invasion. ABC News national correspondent Marcus Moore joins us outside the capital city of Kyiv with more on this. Marcus, for days now, Russia has been urging these last Ukrainian fighters in Mariupol to surrender, and yet they have not. So what happens if they don't?
Well, the Russians have threatened to, quote, eliminate them, basically saying that they will die if they don't surrender. What we have heard from the Ukrainian president, as well as other Ukrainian officials, is that they have no intention of surrendering, that they will fight until the end. So certainly what's been happening there in Mariupol has been the focal point of this conflict. There is fighting going on in other parts of the country, but Mariupol is symbolically right now where everyone is watching to see what will happen, and the Ukrainians are vowing to keep fighting through to the very end, Diane.
And we should explain that this steel plant, it's not just one building, it's a whole complex that spans miles. Mm-hmm. And there are reportedly more than 1,000 civilians also sheltering on the grounds there. So what happens to them?
Yeah, that's what we've heard from the Mariupol City Council, that there are about 1,000 people there, mostly women and children, who've been taking shelter underneath that complex. And the hope has been that there could be a humanitarian corridor to open for them, because they've had no access to food, water, or medicine there, and are obviously in the midst of a Russian offensive. So as fighters are battling the Russians, there are civilians there caught in the middle of it. So certainly the hope is that those people will be able to get out safely. It's just a question of when.
And Marcus, I know you're getting a closer look at some of the devastation left behind in the suburbs of Kyiv. What's the latest there?
We are in the town of Borodyanko, which is a city about 90 minutes northwest of Kyiv. You can see just behind me one of the apartment buildings that was bombed. This town has been destroyed. The Russians occupied this place for several weeks, and when they pulled back, this is what was left behind. And so we've been here, and we've been hearing the stories of what people endured in this town. There was a point, Diane, where there were so many bodies in the streets here of people who died that they had to bury them in mass graves. And we were there today as they exhumed some of those bodies, including that of a 14-year-old girl who was shot in this very circle as she was evacuating the bombing. We also met a grieving mother who told us about her 34-year-old son who was shot and killed as he crossed the street. Their bodies are being exhumed because officials are building a case, making claims that the Russians committed war crimes here. And so, Diane, they want people to see what happened here and to hear their stories, as all of them right now, Diane, are asking why was this place attacked this way?
All right, Marcus Moore in Kyiv. We appreciate it, Marcus. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.